Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Let's start this. All right. Let's do this one more game. Hopefully it don't glitch on me. Let's get the lighting right. All right. Hold on a sec. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. On my loaded Lux ish. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. All right. Funkified. I swear, man. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Battle Rap Report. I am your host, HydroMan's, your Slipknot fan of Battle Rap, here helping you catch up on Battle Rap. Quick little intro type of thing or whatever. You know, it's about that scary season or whatever, and we about to talk about a scary situation. But let's handle the niceties real quick. Hold on, my mic's over here. Hold on. Let's handle all the niceties real quick. Shout out to everybody in the battle rap community. You know, DME Detroit on fam. What's up? What's good? And everybody on DME Detroit's chat. You know, shout out IMP Black Yo. You gotta say it like a pimp named Slickback. The whole thing, nothing but the whole thing. You know what I mean? Pause, if anything. But shout out, you know, IMP Black Yo. Shout out Adept HNIC. I see you. I see you. You doing big things. That's what's up. Shout out to PZ World. What's up, PZ? Please get it together, PZ. Get it together. Shout out Streets, the legend. Streets, the 2 times the legend. Shout out it's your boy J Guard Hype. And all the other battle rap channels out there, bloggers, battle rap media, all that, except for the weirdos. Y'all know who y'all are. Shout out Champion, Jay Black, Mark Jamgo, On Wall, and Reader. Shout out Dree. Shout out the whole entire champion staff. They out there pushing P. Proper preparation prevents poor performance and all that jazz. All pun intended. We at the battle rap report. We have the M's. All right, hold on. Forgot to put this up earlier, but it's side. We gonna make it through. All right. It's the M's, right? We at the battle rap report. We have the M's, and it gonna live something like this. It's mandatory to memorize material, masterfully manipulate metaphors, massacre marked men maliciously to maintain motivative mightiness. Is there part 2 to that? Yes, there is. Be mindful to multitask, magnify major Manning main lines magically, and mastermind a manifesto murder and manuscript. You get it all, one shot, one kill. What's the deal? Shout out Tony Yayo. All right. So, we gonna get this out of the way. Now, I've stated this before in other videos, a couple other videos before, but I talked about losing my mother, you know, but I talked about something that happened back in the 80s, right? Late 80s. My mom had a boyfriend. He was very nice guy, you know, made car models, you know, model cars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He was a really nice guy at the time. Didn't know how, you know, psychotic and sadistic he was. But my mom had put insurance out on herself, you know, because, you know, it's been a few years since she came back from PR. Well, actually a couple years since she came back from PR, you know, got a house, just got settled back in Patterson. And we were living in PR for almost like 5 years, just about 5 to 6 years. And then, you know, I'm old enough to go to school. She didn't want me to go to school. I'm PR. The schools were really bad. So she wanted me to go to school here in the U.S., right? So I was born here, raised in PR. Then my mom brought me back to Patterson, and started going to school, right? Pre-K, all that, right? Um, so he had, my mom had put insurance on herself, knowing that she had a child and all that. She was thinking about her future and, the future of her son or any children that she had afterwards. So he he set up for a day or a night where he would put knives all around the house, under her pillow, under the bed, side nightstand, under the side nightstand, by the bureau, in the living room, in the kitchen, by the chinero, and a bunch of other places where he placed knives. And maybe he was expecting her to come in the daytime, whatever, but she came at nighttime, and it was me and her laying in her bed watching cartoons or watching some shows on TV. Um, he picked me up. I was asleep, but I vaguely remember, being picked up and like trying to see who was picking me up, but I couldn't see. It was night and it was dark. Um, I was He put me down on the bed, or in my bedroom, or he laid me down in the sofa in the living room. Don't remember, but I do remember waking up in the living room. So I think he had laid me down on the couch, and I did not hear any of the screams. I did not hear any of the assault that was going on, the tumbling and fighting and all that. I was a little kid. I was dead asleep. It was, I'm older now, and I still sleep very hard. You know what I mean? Pause if needed. But as a child, I slept, really good. Um, but this night in particular, he tried to break into the house like he was a burglar. Um, Tried to make it look like she was killed by a burglar. Whether or not if he was, trying to get the insurance or just have the insurance money and have me. I don't know what was on his mind, but he tried to kill my mother. My mother fought him tooth and nail. I don't know whether or not if he knew my mom was a wrestler or not, professional wrestler, and trained many other wrestlers that was in the Passaic County area of the wrestling team at that time. But she fought my man's, she fought him and had him, run out the house. You know what I mean? She was, cut up, you know, he was cut up. There were blood splattered throughout the house. My mom survived that assault. He wound up getting locked up. He did 10 plus years or something like that because, he had did some time. He got out. He raped and assaulted his 2-year-old baby daughter. Then got locked up again for 10, almost 20 plus years, whatever it was. Just recently I was in contact with his son, and we spoke, and we had no idea who we were until he said the man's name, and I said da 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 da, like, you from here in Patterson, right, in the Passaic area. He's like, yeah, so on and so forth. He was locked up and then he got out, really, is losing his mind now, da 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 da. I'm like, yeah. He went out, he was with he once had a girlfriend named Nydia, right, blah 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 blah. He's like, oh yeah, da 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 da, I'm her son. And then, we had our conversation, and we left it at that. But I say this, right? This is actually the first time that I actually said that I was in the room, and or that I was laying next to my mom before the assault happened, or the attempted murder on her life. So for anybody thinks that HydroMan from the Battle Rapport is siding with a alleged rapist or alleged serial rapist, named Christopher Benard Gunsby. I do not side with that thing. I don't consider Dr.Untieus a man, because a man does not do what he's alleged what happened. Besides the fact that there are court documents about a previous case where he assaulted a boy in the age of 9, 10, or 11 years old. And this didn't happen in Florida. This happened in Georgia. The case is Gay versus Gunsby. I don't know whether or not if the boy was gay or the last name was gay, but that happened. Could be that his baby mama's last name was gay, but there was a court case that happened years ago. Besides the fact that there are things that's been happening throughout Dr. Untieus' career online that has been very questionable, which I'm going to talk about those things now. I do not ride with a man who touches kids. I do not ride with a man that touches women. And in the means and vicious, malicious way that he has done. Allegedly. Which is a bunch of bullshit, because if there are six counts against him right now that he's battling against, and he's trying to get these charges dropped or whatever. I'm not here to down another minority out here. I'm not here for that. What I'm here for is to speak about facts. One of the facts is on my thoughts on Christopher Benard Gunsby. I'm not saying his name. I'm saying his full government. So y'all could go online and check out DeKalb County, Georgia, United States, and check out what is on his jacket. Now, one point I will be talking about right now is his narcissism. That's right, people. I said narcissism. If y'all didn't know already, Christopher Benard Gunsby does lives on his channel, his new channel, which he just does lives and then deletes them, privates them, all that, whatever he does, to make sure that when he does a live and then immediately takes it offline, so that nobody can go into detail in criticizing and critiquing the lies that he's saying online. We're not talking about battle rap. We're talking about his falsehoodness. Reason why I say that Christopher Benard Gunsby is a narcissist is because his statements that he said on his live plenty of different times, whether he's talking about him and ARP laughing at the battle rap community, whether it's him saying that, oh, why? Look, I don't care what any of his fans want to say. They all want to defend Christopher Benard Gunsby. Go ahead. Just know you are backing an alleged serial rapist. We don't know what was going to happen after he had, sexually assaulted these women. Possibly we're going to drug them. And possibly we're going to kill them. And, since they're in Georgia, he could find a nice little swamp where he could just, dump the body and let gators eat it up. Or let anacondas, swallow them whole. Either way, he was not going to care whether or not if they lived or died after his sexual assault. And first of all, these women were not these women that were assaulted were not prostitutes. They weren't hoes. There weren't none of that. Women that were getting paid for, bitches getting paid for sex and so on and so forth. These women were not prostitutes, were not hoes, were not hookers, none of that. They were regular people. Get that. Now, why do I say that Christopher Benard Gunsby is a narcissist? Besides the fact that he stated in his live, "Oh, you don't know, I'm caked up unbiased." Why would you say such things like that when you have such serious charges on your jacket? Sexual assault charges. Possibly manslaughter charges. Or attempted manslaughter, attempted murder, whatever. Because he put the pedal to the metal when the women were trying to leave the vehicle. And every time, there are 2 counts of women that are scarred up from their arms to their chests and all, jumping out of a speeding vehicle, not giving a fuck whether or not if they lived or died. But as long as they were in that vehicle, their mind was, I'm gonna die. One woman, he pulled a gun on her and then tried to cut her with a blade to make sure that she stayed in the vehicle. But amongst all this, I say that Christopher Benard Gunsby is a narcissist because of the simple fact. The Craigslist for Cash Taxi. His name was DRA. DRA. Why would a person do that? It makes sense. It makes sense. Throughout the years, me and my mom, before she passed, we would look, on videos of Iceman and other psychopathic serial killers and sociopaths. And, my mom was into criminal justice. So, every time, OJ trial or a famous trial would end up on TV, we're watching it, Or if she was at work, I'm at home recording it. So when she gets home, we watch the trials and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the reason why he called himself DRA instead of Christopher Benard Gunsby on Craigslist was because of this one factor right here. He wanted to get away with anonymity, not knowing who was looking at him and so all that weird stuff, right? Christopher Benard Gunsby. His middle name is Benard. Benard. Do Benard backwards for me, please. Just do Benard backwards and stop at A. What do you get? DRA. See, Christopher Benard Gunsby couldn't give himself his real name on the Craigslist Cash Taxi, because if he did, and he did these sexual assaults and stuff like that, and possibly finished off by doing away with their bodies and stuff like that, that it would all be traced to Christopher Benard Gunsby, a Craigslist name for Cash Taxi. But guess what? To have anonymity out here in the Craigslist Cash Taxi bullshit that he was doing, he just wrote Benard backwards and stopped at A. And guess what? He got DRA. He got DRA. You can have it as many different ways as you want. Dragon, Draconius, all this other DRA. But when you get down to brass tacks, Adept, HNIC, DME Detroit, and Battle Truth. You get down to brass tacks with this right here. This is exactly why the second part of my second part of the list is up here. As long as he had that Cash Taxi Craigslisting as DRA, he would be able work the way he can without getting caught. But this is where my second part of the questioning starts, or comments, or whatever. But he had some stupid excuse why, or maybe he had no excuse whatever for why he can't use his original YouTube channel. This is why. Oh, I can't use my original YouTube. That's why I made a new one. And start from the beginning, start fresh. And whatever excuse it was bullshit. You know why? Why would he want to suppress GPS evidence? An innocent man like myself, if I'm caught up in some bullshit like this, would not be trying to suppress GPS evidence. But because he tried to suppress it, it lends credence to this second part. The reason why he cannot use the first YouTube channel that he had, the tens of thousands or 100,000+ that he had in that first channel, the reason why is because the phone was taken for evidence. Which means that they GPS geo-tracked the location of said phone or occupant of the phone to any and all these assault places that took place. Any of these assaults that took place in any places that was happening. Near an abandoned house where the GPS tracked and is shown him being there multiple times. But not only all these other things that come to mind, but how about this? Oh, the reason why he cannot use his first YouTube Chris Unbiased channel, the reason why is because the fucking feds got his phone. They got his phone, which means the emails, his own email accounts, he cannot log back in. Why? Because just like his SUV that was taken as evidence, he can't get that back. Unless this is over. Unless this trial, this court stuff is over and he's proved innocent. That's the only way he will have his phone, which has all his emails and links and all that. But he can't. He can't use any of his old accounts because all that is still being used as evidence, still to this day. All right? He can't use that first YouTube channel because that YouTube channel goes on an account. That Google account, that Yahoo account, that email account, period, is being used by the feds. So that they can see where he was, what time, this, that, and the other. Just see whether or not if he lied or not on these assaults. So, ADEP, HNIC, DME Detroit, Battle Truth. All of y'all could check this out real quick and know, well, that is kind of, that makes a lot of sense. He won't be able to use his old accounts if the feds have his emails, his email accounts that he can't get back into. He doesn't have the phone, which he can't get back into. You know what I mean? Because the feds, they got that. It's a wrap right there. Now, there was the reasoning why they took his computer and other filming, oh, damn, it's a P word. How I forget it? Damn. Anyway, the reason why his laptop, computer, phone, and other filming stuff were taken was because there was possible child pornography. Now, like I said before, I do not co-sign, I do not ride, and I do not fight for any man or woman that has assault and or rape charges on them. Some disgusting ass shit on their jackets. Disgusting piece of shit is what Christopher Benard Gunsby is. Now, he has a new YouTube channel, right? He had to make a new YouTube channel after he was locked up for about 2 years and 3 months, something like that. Now, he had to create this new YouTube channel because if he used his previous YouTube channel, which I said he can't, but if he used his previous YouTube channel, he would then continuously do what he's doing now, preaching his lies. There, he doesn't have a court case. What was it? The paperwork. He's like dead docketed and so on and so forth. Like, do you think if he had his original YouTube channel that he would be doing this? No. He would be doing shit straight legit. Because he knows the feds is watching. He knows the feds got his account number and all that. They have his email. Like, they know. So all he has to do is say some fucked up shit. It gets used against him in court. But guess what? That's why he created a new YouTube channel. Ain't nobody gonna take his YouTube channel and send it to his lawyers. Hell no. You know why? Because he's so narcissistic in his own way that he will put himself out there as dry in Craigslist cash taxi listing, because he wants to get caught. He wants to get caught. That's one of these things about sociopaths and some psychopaths. That these tendencies of sometimes throwing bits of their real self, either a face, name, changing up the name. However, some way, somehow, they want to get caught. That's why he used DRA in that cash taxi Craigslist listing. Because when you put Benard backwards, you get DRA. Forget the rest, DRA, DRA. But the reason why he has a new YouTube channel is to spread and preach his lies. That's why. He can't use his previous. Because if he did, the feds would be like, oh, he said a lie. What the hell? False government documents and court papers? Oh, yeah, you're getting like 10 or 15 just for that. But since he has a new YouTube channel, ain't nobody sending his new YouTube channel links to his the prosecution or his lawyers to try to defend it and trying to get it squashed and pushed the fuck out of here so nobody sees that. But guess what? I believe somebody already sent the link of Christopher Benard Gunsby's new channel onto the prosecution and the lawyers. That's what I think. Because of the simple fact, it has to. You know why? Because he done spewed so much lies on his channel. Through his lives, through his pre-records, any and all of that shit. He's lied so many times. But yet, ARP still backs him. But yet, other battle rap channels support him. And subscribe to him. Angry Fan, Caps, PSA, Hip Hop, 3 Letterman. Why are y'all subscribed to this man? They got all this bullshit on his jacket. Oh, it's bullshit. No, real shit. It's real shit on his jacket. September 12th, 23rd, or whatever that the new court hearing was. Arguments, which is on YouTube, which is on Vimeo. Tried to flip all that, trying to say that nothing really happened. And prosecution ain't got nothing. Why you stop the tape? Why you stop the tape and didn't let the prosecution finish saying their statement? Because he knows he's fucked. No wonder he's been going across the whole entire United States He wants to play ball with teenagers at high schools. Bro, I'm 41 years old. March, I'm going to be 42. Do you think I'm going to be going to a fucking basketball court at a high school just to play ball with teenagers? If anything, if I want to play ball, I'll go to Brook Slope. Brook Slope got a couple of basketball courts over there. I'll go over there and I'll play dudes, actual men. 18 and up. 30s and up. That's the competition. Not you being 50 years old out here balling with 15, 16-year-olds. And then their girls on the side, literally potential victims for you. Fuck you, Christopher Benard Gunsby, aka Dra from Craigslist taxi listings, cash taxi listings. What the fuck? Benard, take the B, take the E, take the N, take that away. What do you have? And put it backwards. You have DRA, Dra. Fucking shit. Now, here's another part of my video, right? He never admits to raping. He never admits to raping. He never admits to raping. You know what he admits? I had a party and I paid prostitutes and so on and so forth. And I fucked the prostitutes and so on and so forth. And I just paid them with counterfeit bills. That's not what your lawyers are defending for you. Your lawyers are defending something whole different. What was it that they're trying to defend him on? Actually, they're not trying to take away anything. They're trying to make sure that the GPS for the phone is no longer in evidence. Okay, y'all got it out of evidence. What do you think the prosecution's trying to do right now? They're trying to bring that back. Why do you think the whole hearing, the arguments hearing was happening? Because of the simple fact, there is literally a bunch of, how should I say? All the evidence is stacked against Christopher Benard Gunsby. Everything is stacked against him. He takes this GPS phone evidence away. He might be able to sway the jury and the judges, which I wholeheartedly do not believe. Straight up. But he does not admit to raping. Oh, I paid these bitches off with counterfeit money. What? And then John Real defended Yo Half by saying that, whatever. Like, that shit don't fucking matter. Like, what he said. Oh, well, he had to lie to the community. Christopher Benard Gunsby had to lie to the battle rat community because he didn't want people to know that he was paying for pussy. Huh? He was paying for pussy with counterfeit money, and then he would literally assault them. But in actuality, he didn't pay them. He just sexually assaulted them. He had a weapon or weapons, threatened them, and then would rape them. They were lucky. Here's the funny thing. There are 3 women that survived these sexual altercations with Christopher Benard Gunsby, a.k.a. Dr. Untieus. Now, what about the other women that we don't know about? The 14, 15, 16-year-old children that he did the same thing that we don't know about. What about the 18, 19, 20, 20-something-year-old petite women that he assaulted that we never got to hear? They're probably dead. They're probably in the stomachs of anacondas and gators and other wildlife out there in Georgia, where he would dump the bodies in the swamp. Serial rapist or just a serial killing rapist motherfucker, period. Either way, that cannot be taken away from my eyes. He will always be guilty in front of my eyes. And I hope your eyes too. Now, here's another point that I want to point out. ARP, RBE, league owner, I feel protects weirdos in battle rap. How do I know? Because I will not be talking about or doing run that back recap on any RBE events. I'm sticking with that, and I'm standing by that. Why do I say that? Because of the simple fact that last event that he had Christopher Benard Gunsby all in the video, in the background right behind him, or even with this recent YouTube drop. The dude is right there eyeing, can't stop getting his eyes off of RX, who was basically in a bikini. And he was caught filming. Oh, I'm filming the battle though. Really? 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 After the alleged sexual assaults and harassing and videotaping of women at RBE events, probably other events too, reason why URL doesn't allow Christopher Benard Gunsby to be at any of their events. Maybe they smartened up. Maybe they smartened up. Maybe they smartened up. But I do not condone ARP. I'm gonna make a phone call. Oh, you're gonna make a phone call? Wasn't that phone call done almost a year ago? When, whack compromised media was over here talking to you and so on and so forth. Like, yeah, Chris is no longer allowed at our events. Bullshit. Bullshit. Shout out to Easy with the bullshit. But yeah, that's a double entendre because Easy be on that bullshit, and then Easy is the guy who says bullshit. Anyway, but this ain't about battle rap. This is about allowing a piece of shit motherfucker in our community to let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And guess what? Before Adept, before Battle Truth, before DME Detroit even stated or hinted or straight out said that RBE is protecting Christopher Benard Gunsby, or that he was getting paid or is paying and or has money in stock in RBE. Before any of that was said, I believed it. Because of the simple fact, he was allowed at battle rap events for years. 4 years. And he's still here? Y'all still letting him ride? Y'all still letting him talk his shit? Oh, allegedly he got these things on his jacket. But he's still going to fucking court for this shit. He even admitted that he was there in the last hearing. That everybody is watching. And everybody saw. Well, some people don't want to watch because they're supporters of Dr.Untieus. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't ride with that. Fuck you, Christopher Benard, aka Draw Gunsby. Now, I want to state this last little thing, and hopefully I'm done with this episode and I don't have to talk about this ever again. But if I do, most likely it's because there's going to be some updates. The reason why I call Christopher Benard, aka Draw Gunsby, Dr.Untieus, because that's how he operates. For years, I loved the movie. Since I was a child, I loved the movie Dr. Giggles. It was hilarious to me. It was never really a scary movie to me. The first time I was watching it, I was a little scared or whatever. But once it got to the point where the dude is like laughing all and giggling, all this other stuff, I just felt like when he would kill or do anything, it was funny to me. You know, it was hilarious. I guess that's that, you know, like horror flick lover in me that just loves horror flicks. You know what I mean? But the reason why I call Christopher Benard, aka Dra Gunsby, Dr.Untieus, is because, for one, I don't like saying his name. You know, Chris Unbiased. I don't like saying that name. But I call him Dr. Untieus because he is a piece of shit that is literally maneuvering this whole operation of battle rap the way he wants to. And I can't look at the movie Dr. Giggles the same after, you know, the shit that is on his jacket. I've never seen an unbiased review. I've never seen an unbiased. I never even seen the here we go. I seen the Rapumentary. I did not see his documentary. If you get what I'm saying. I never subscribed to his channel. I never watched any of his episodes. I've watched what was on other people's channels reviewing his Rapumentary or his lives. That's it. And I will not ever, ever, ever subscribe to a piece of shit Christopher Benard, aka Dra Gunsby, for any of this shit, because he is, for me, unworthy. This is the only time I'm really going to talk about his fucking bullshit fuckery. Every other time that I will, I'll say this, that, and the other. That's it. But I do not co-sign anybody that rides with Christopher Benard, aka Dra Gunsby. Remember, Dra is Benard backwards, but you have to stop with the B-E-N. DRA. Look at the word Benard, which is his middle name. This is what I said in the beginning of the episode. He is a narcissist. He wants to get caught. Sociopaths and psychopaths have this one little thing that happens every now and again, which is they want to get caught, so they put some things of their real selves out there. Whether it's twisting their name, whether it's their age, how they look, where they're from. They do this type of thing all the time. He wants to get caught. And I do not see it far-fetched of him technoning himself or rumnitying himself or unaliving himself when it turns out that, you know, the court proceedings go against his favor. I think that he's been traveling all around the United States looking for an exit plan. Probably Mexico, probably Canada. But I do think that he is going to unalive himself. That Christopher Benard Gunsby will unalive himself if the fucking ruling is against his favor. He might just technon himself. He might just rumnitty himself. Because who would want to go to prison with multiple rape shits on his fucking jacket? They will treat you like a fucking rag doll. So, I said my half. I've spoken my half. I've said too much. Or have I said not enough? But let me make this little disclaimer, since maybe y'all made it to the end of this video and didn't get it. I do not ride with a person that has multiple rape shits on their jacket. Multiple rape assaults. Any and all. What is on Christopher Benard, aka Dra, on Craigslist, Cash Taxi, Gunsby. I do not condone what he does, how he rides, and what he does. Alright? I do not condone any of that shit. So, you know how this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't drive drunk. Don't drive distracted. And please don't drive with a cell phone in your hands. There are other people on the road, me being one of them. So you know how this is. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Good fracking night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. HydroMan out. I'm going live on Instagram on the after party for this, all right?